So I experienced it all. I saw it. I was, being a woman, being a blonde-haired woman, a single woman at the time before I met my husband. You can imagine that it wasn't easy for me, but it made me strong, I can tell you that. At first I wasn't critical, but I developed a strong dislike. I remember one story, one time when I found out, by chance, don't ask me how, I don't remember that Muhammad liked young girls, let's put it that way. I was extremely shocked, and I went to our translator, to our interpreter, a very devout Jordanian, and I said, well, what's going on? I just found out that your prophet likes young girls. And he didn't tell me, no, that's not true. Or he didn't say, yes, that's true. He said, stop talking about this immediately. I'd never want to hear it again. Censorship. He didn't want to get into it. I assume he knows, or maybe he didn't read the Quran. He's just a Muslim in name. But there's no excuse, in my opinion. So, we're still now, after Kuwait, what is it now, 2000, I said, like I told you, I still hadn't had enough, and I decided I needed to spend a year in Libya, of all places, right?
Oh my God.
You didn't know that?
No,
Okay. I spent a year in Libya, a very long year, I can tell you that, and I was in Libya on September 11th. Yes. I had my landlord, a Libyan, storm into my apartment saying, "The Jews did it!" And I said, yeah, right. Libya was hard. Probably the hardest I've ever experienced. It made me a stronger person. It made me the person that I am standing here right now. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be able to go through this. So I returned to Austria in 2001, finished my degree, became an English teacher, a mom. I have a beautiful young daughter. She's 5 years old, and she's the reason I'm standing here today. In 2006, I read a book called Gabriel's Whisperings, and that changed my view drastically. It was written by an Indian atheist. And the interesting thing about this book is that this man used only Islamic sources. And it shocked me. It scared me, it shocked me, and I felt very alienated, very alone, because I all of a sudden got the grasp. I learned about abrogation. I learned about FGM, how FGM is found in the Hadith. And it explained Islam from the very beginnings, the moon gods, the violence. Like I said, it scared me. I felt alone. Well, God is on my side, and in March I hooked up with the Vienna Akademikerbund, an association of academics that is very Islam critical, and they gave me a platform. Oh my God. Okay, forget that. Platform. I have so much more to say. In October of 2007, I spoke I was invited to speak at the now infamous Counter Jihad Brussels conference. And that sort of got me started in all this. I have to go to the European Union and tell you that there is a strong threat to the freedom of expression in Europe, with the help of the European Union. Freedom of expression died on 9/11/2007 when peaceful demonstration was forbidden by the mayor there. Now, my focus in all that I'm doing is freedom of expression, because if you can't speak, you're silent and you're dead. And, freedom of expression, who decides, what to say? I decided. It's my standards. Okay, I was brought up and raised to speak in a friendly manner, So I decide what is right or what is wrong, not somebody else. I determine that. The problem with the EU Declaration of Human Rights is that it sounds beautiful. With the new Treaty of Lisbon, we have this Declaration of Human Rights. But the last article is a problem because it says the Declaration says the rights of expression and association are to be balanced against the values and interests of the community in achieving and maintaining harmony. The community decides. But who determines this balance? It's those who are in control of the establishment, the politicians, and the proponents and apostles of multiculturalism. We also have the framework, the EU framework and resolution for combating racism and xenophobia. And I won't quote that because we're out of time, but suffice it to say that criticism of religion is racism. Okay? Racism is no longer racism the way we know it, but my daughter is growing up with a definition of racism that Islam may not be criticized because that is racist. Now, one last thing. I'm almost done. The political left calls me and others a hate preacher.
A hate sponsor.
And hate preacher. From the German.
The American
Okay,
vernacular is
okay,
hate sponsor.
okay. Now, let me ask you, where do I preach hate when I say that I am a mother and a feminist, a believer in human rights and not Sharia law? Where am I currently preaching hate when I say that I'm a defender of democratic values, of freedom of speech and conscience, of individual self-determination? And I will conclude by quoting Ralph Giordano, a German Jewish writer, who says, "So in the future, I will dare to say what I think and what makes me uneasy. I will dare to say that I am deeply repulsed by the sight of shrouded women and that my repulsion is not directed at them, but at the patriarchal religious system that compels them to be wrapped up. I will still dare to say that I consider Sharia law to be notoriously awful. I will write and tell that the way it is in the name of cultural self-assertion, under the title, Immigration is not the problem. The mosque is not the problem. Islam is the problem." Thank you very much.